1.7 billion users and counting, and you still haven't started making any TikTok content for your business? Hi, I'm Annie, better known as Annie's Bucket List on TikTok. My most viral video on here has over 6 million views, and all the tips I'll be sharing with you today is based on my own tried and tested personal experience of growing my page to over 96,000 followers without spending any money on ads. So the first tip is to hook people in immediately. You want to hook the viewer with the first 3 seconds of your video, because everyone's attention span is so short on TikTok that if you can't capture someone's interest within that first few seconds, they're gone, they've scrolled past you. This might sound like the most basic advice, but you'd be surprised at how many people will just share a video that they've filmed like in chronological order, for example. So an easy example here would be like a cooking video. When you watch a cooking video, it always starts with the final product at the start of the video so that you have that beautiful visual of that chocolate croissant that you'll be making in the video. It starts with a hero shot. So it shows people exactly what it is that you'll be cooking in the video. But if you start the video with you mixing the dough in a large bowl, and it actually takes time to even understand what you're cooking, in that first 3 seconds of your video, people are just going to keep scrolling because they've got no context, nothing interesting. Where's the hero shot? My attention's gone. So start your video with your hero shot and get their attention within that first few seconds of the video. But wait, there's more. You've got your hero shot, you also need to have hero text that hooks them in. This is sort of like clickbait. It's text that appears at the start of the video to keep people watching. If your video usually hooks them in, you also have to have text that hooks them in as well. So include clickbait text that appears instantly to keep people watching. The key to this is to be very dramatic. So for example, this creator here, he always has a hero shot of him doing something very animated. You could also try like looking very shocked or amazed depending on the content of the video, and that is his hero shot. And then as the viewers continue to watch, they gain more context about the video. Now if you're looking for ideas on what type of text hooks you can use at the beginning of the video, these are some popular hooks that you can try. So you can take a screenshot of this so you can use it in your upcoming TikTok videos. You can also use TikTok's suggested searches, because you can type in any phrase into TikTok here and it'll come up with suggestions on video topics that other people are searching for as well. So if you type in business hacks, for example, you'll see all these suggestions, which are topics that you may want to cover in your video. You might want to use that in your hook, or you might want to add that into your caption, which is great SEO. Tip number 2, keep it short and sweet. The next tip is to keep everything fast and short. Unlike YouTube videos like this, you never want to start your TikTok videos with, "Hi guys, I'm Annie, and today," yep, they've already skipped and gone to the next video. People like it quick, short, and snappy. Don't bother introducing yourself, just say something that's going to get their attention immediately, and you can introduce yourself later after you delivered the value first. If you can't keep your video short and sweet and you know that you really can't cut it down, then just preface that at the start of the video. So say something like, "Here's everything you need to know about this topic within 60 seconds. And that way, you lay it all out right away and people know what they're getting themselves into and they're invested into watching more of your video. And then when you're editing your video, every scene should be fast and short. In fact, all of my videos on TikTok, I have cuts that are 1 second or less and then it hops to the next scene. And that's because every time I cut to a new scene, it gives people that dopamine hit that they want to just keep them engaged and keep them watching the video more. My next advice is to create content for search purposes, because did you know that one of TikTok's biggest competitors is actually Google? That's because more people are using TikTok as a search engine to solve their problems and to research things instead of going to Google. So in this example here, when I search places to eat in Burwood, Chinatown on Google, which is my local, it's all these TikTok search results that appear. And that's because if you can cover a topic that is commonly searched in Google, TikTok loves that. And you might even show up in the preview section that helps you increase your views when people are typing things into Google. So think of TikTok captions as a search engine exercise. The platform allows you 150 characters for captions, but people don't often read them. So instead use this as an SEO opportunity. By using keywords and search phrases in your caption, you'll dramatically increase your content's chance of being found online. And you can also focus on topics that users are actively searching for. Tip number 4, user-generated content. User-generated content is basically content that looks like it's filmed by a relatable, everyday other person and not an advertisement from a brand. I see so many brands on TikTok using cinematic, professional videos that just look like an advertisement and make me instantly want to keep scrolling, whereas videos that are filmed just using an iPhone that show a bit more of a human touch will more likely capture my attention because I don't feel like I'm watching an advertisement and nobody is selling me anything. Fate the Label is a great example of how a fashion brand does this so well. Instead of hard selling their clothing in every single video, they make their content relatable, they give you a little bit of a behind the scenes look, and they make it fun and engaging so you feel connected to the brand. And when they do have videos where they showcase their clothing, they're using real people who are more realistic instead of like unattainable looking models. Tip number 5, experiment with formats. Tip number 5 is to experiment with the different types of video formats that you can use on TikTok. There are actually so many different types of videos that you can do on here. So for example, voiceovers, that's the one that I usually do. You can also do green screen videos, voice effects, duets, acting as skits, direct to camera talks like me talking to the camera, and more. This variety can help you find what resonates best with your personal style and your audience. Tip number 6, use trends. Okay, so my next tip is to not exactly copy a trend, but make a trend yours. So trends can be sprinkled into your content for a little bit of fun, but don't rely on this as your core content because trends will hardly get you followers. Why would someone follow you if all you're doing is just copying a trend anyway? And if you're not someone who uses TikTok regularly, so you don't actually know what the trends are, you can actually outsource all of the research and content planning to a social media virtual assistant. Now you can do this by talking to one of our outsourcing experts at outsourcingangel.com/discovery. Tip number 7, post 1 to 4 videos every day. TikTok recommends between 1 to 4 posts per day, which is a lot. As long as you can share content that is thoughtful and intentional, then that's the way to go. But think of it this way. If a singer releases a banger song once per day, would you subscribe to them or would you subscribe to someone else who releases 4 not so great songs every single day? Now, TikTok creators will usually start with the 1 video per day to figure out what works for them and what doesn't work. And once they really find their magic formula for the videos that are the bangers, that's when they can start upping the video game and do more in a day. But it does take a lot of time filming and planning. However, the more you do this, the faster you'll get, and because they pretty much use the same formula for all their videos, it makes it a lot easier and faster to do each and every time. Tip number 8, film in the safe zone. So you don't want your key content to get cut off at the top of the video or at the bottom of the video or even the sides where the share buttons and the text are. This is an example of an old video where our CEO, Lynn, has filmed a little bit too close, so her head is going to get cut off at the top and the side of the video. And that's definitely not what you want to do when you're filming a video. You have to make sure that you're a bit further away from the camera, and a good tip is to use 0.5 zoom on your camera, then switch it around to film yourself and you get a wider shot and a bit more of the background as well. So if you're looking to expand your reach on TikTok, then book a free discovery call with us today. We'll help you maximize your social media impact with customized solutions. You can go to outsourcingangel.com/discovery or click the link in the description below to book a free discovery call with us. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it's been very helpful. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video for more helpful tips. Bye!